Hello, my name is John. Welcome to my NEStalgiaholic channel. And in this video, I'll be talking about Ball. This is a Game & Watch game by Nintendo. This particular version is actually a reproduction for Club Nintendo. It came out last year, but it's a reproduction of the very first Game & Watch game that Nintendo made back in 1980. So let's take a closer look at this great, very faithful reproduction of this classic Game & Watch game. Let's talk a little about the series itself and how you could go about getting this. Here it is. This is the Game & Watch. The game is called Ball. Not a very creative name, but it makes sense when you see the gameplay, I suppose. Came out in 2010, available through Club Nintendo. If you guys aren't familiar with Club Nintendo is actually a loyalty program. When you buy games, Nintendo products, you accumulate points or coins, and you can redeem those coins for prizes, exclusive items that you can't find necessarily in retail stores or even on Nintendo's website. So this particular item actually went for 1,200 coins. I think the Club Nintendo in North America, or at least in the States, they refer to them as coins. Everywhere else in the world, they're actually as points. Same thing, just different name. This is actually a reproduction of the box itself. There's subtle differences here. Let me show you. Here you can see the Club Nintendo logo on the bottom there. On the back, you see not for resale. That's obviously different. Here is Club Nintendo, and it talks about the back. Let's read here. You are holding in your hand a game of the future, at least. That's what it was called 30 years ago. Ball, the first installment of the Game & Watch series, has been faithfully reproduced and reissued so that gamers of the future can relive the groundbreaking technology of the past. This is your gift to you, Club Nintendo members. Enjoy. A little brief history of the Game & Watch series itself. Actually, was created by a Nintendo employee called Gunpei Yokoi. He also created the Game Boy line. He went on to make the Virtual Boy, which ended up flopping. Nintendo actually let him go after Virtual Boy, and then he joined forces with Bandai and created the Wonder Swan. He died over, I think, a car crash or some kind of freak accident later on, unfortunately. But back in 1979, he saw a guy on a bullet train playing a game on his LCD calculator, and he came up with this idea, and he wanted to come up with a game, and this is it. The first one's called Ball. And there were 59 total Game & Watches released between 1980 through 1991. There's various different types. The dual screen, there's ones with controllers and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of different models, but all said and done, within that time, 59 games. One of them was an exclusive, so it's technically 60 games. One of them was like a prize they gave away. They sold over 43 million handhelds, so it was a very successful line, one of the first for Nintendo. Let's open this up and let's see what's inside. This right here, this is the instruction manual. And the instruction manual actually folds out like so. And it gives you kind of the batteries, how to change the batteries. You pull the string, and then the different options between game A and B, setting your time, the different components on the back. Is how to change the battery, all that good stuff too. We're going to open this up. It comes packaged in a nice little case like this. This is the game itself. Very small, very compact. It's got about a 2-inch monitor. It's maybe even smaller. You've got your right, your left. This is your game A, your game B, your time. The reason you have a time because it is a watch, hence the whole Game & Watch name. On the back here, you have the only difference here is you have a Club Nintendo thing here. That's how you know it's not the original. This is where your watch batteries go into, and you can pull this out and it starts. So let's pull this. You can see here, this is where you set your time. So it is, let's see, it's about 10:45. Most other Game & Watch I've played actually have a kickstand as well. This does not have the kickstand on the back, unfortunately. And once you're done setting your time, you actually hit time, and you're good to go. Also, a big difference on this one is you actually can mute it. If you hit time while you're playing it, the sound will mute. You couldn't do that on the original. It's pretty lightweight overall. And there's a screw here on the battery cover, which I think is not necessarily the case with most other classic Game & Watches. I think they probably do this for safety reasons now, where the original Game & Watches don't necessarily have that there. So let's go start a game. You push. Game A is you're this guy with 2 balls. He's juggling 2 balls, anyway. And the object is you're supposed to catch or juggle, move the arms, and kind of keep them going. You accumulate points, and as more points you accumulate, the faster the balls go. Let's drop it for just the sake of see what happens. You can see I dropped it, so that's it. And then you only get one guy in this game. That's it. This guy looks like Mr. Game & Watch, which was kind of their mascot for a long time. In fact, he made an appearance on Super Smash Bros. Melee. And the Game & Watch collection itself kind of lived on through the Nintendo handheld. So Game Boy had a whole bunch of Game & Watch gallery games. I think this was released on the original Game Boy through that. This particular game. Also recently through the DS, there's a Club Nintendo exclusive DS games with Game & Watch as well. Let's go to game B. You can see there's 3 now. See my score is in the top right there. And as you get like more points, they obviously get faster to the point where they can almost blur sometimes. So it gets kind of challenging. I'm doing pretty well here. You get 10 points for every time you catch it. Chop it. Oh, crush. So that completes my review over Ball, the classic Game & Watch game by Nintendo. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you soon. Take care.